Okay, the recording has started. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. I welcome you all for this workshop on Blackboard LMS, the online system for teaching and learning at KFUPM. Thank you everyone for joining in. We are going to have approximately 2 hours of workshop from 1:30 to 3:30, and I welcome you all. Welcome all the participants, all the faculty members. I see a lot of new names as well. I see a lot of advanced users as well. Welcome to everyone. So this workshop is essentially an introduction to Blackboard Learn. And the main target is, of course, new faculty members and returning faculty members if they have not taught for a semester or so, or if they would like to refresh some of the features and tools of Blackboard. So welcome all. So let me just get a quick hand raise. I know we have about 100 registrations, but about 60 have joined so far. So let me just get a quick hand raise of somebody who is totally new to Blackboard. I mean, either you are joining KFUPM for the first time as a faculty and have not used Blackboard or used some other LMS system. So just, if it's possible, just give a hand raise so that I can get an idea. Of course, I'm going to go through the essential ones and we'll talk about some of the issues. But okay, I got 1, 2 names, 3 names. Okay, some are new faculty members or they might have not used Blackboard before. Okay, excellent. And maybe they have used some other system. So we'll just familiarize them with the current system, current learning management system. So, okay, so we have a couple of names, but majority, as I can see, are have used Blackboard before or used other learning management system before, or are already expert and experienced users of Blackboard. So most likely, they can also, comment on or share on certain ideas or skills if I'm suggesting something, and if there are any questions. So you are most welcome to sort of participate in the discussion. So what I'll do in this workshop is basically 2 things. I will quickly go over the presentation. So just to give you an idea of the learning management system, especially for the first-time users, but others, they can get familiarized again with the system and some of the features. Then I'll talk about some of the essential tools, because this is more like an introduction to the workshop. I mean, introduction workshop to the system. I will have one more advanced workshop next week. So if you are interested in learning some of the advanced tools and features, you're most welcome to join the workshop next week. So I'll take about 10 to 15 minutes maybe for this presentation. Then we will go on the hands-on demo, and I'll try to demonstrate the system. So if you have any questions at any point, you feel free to write in the chat or raise a hand, or if it's something very urgent, you might want to turn on the speaker and ask a question. So please feel free to do that. So let me begin with a quick presentation to give you an overview of the system. So as you all know, Blackboard Learning Management System is the online system for teaching and learning. My name is Sanaullah Sayed. I am with the Learning Technology Center at Deanship of Academic Development. So I'm a certified Blackboard trainer and administrator. So I'm a functional support as well as technical support in collaboration with ICTC. So I'll be able to assist you and guide you through different aspects of the learning management system. So the agenda for this workshop is, we'll quickly go over the definition, some educational features, some market share, usage statistics, a little bit of modules, documentation, support, tools and support. So I'll quickly talk about these things, and then we'll go on to the hands-on demo. So, first of all, welcome. This session is essentially an overview of basic tools. And for the past 2 years or so, due to fully online teaching, all the instructors, I'm sure, have become experts and well experienced in variety of online learning tools. So LMS is one of them. Of course, there are live communication tools like the one we are using, Zoom, Teams, Collaborate Ultra, and other variety of tools. So learning management system, I'm sure all of you are very much comfortable, very much experienced. But again, it's just good to know about the features in the beginning of the academic year, so that you will be more comfortable with some of the tools that you might have not used for some time. So that will be a review of those tools. So learning management system, as you are aware, is a web-based application for administration, documentation, tracking, reporting, and delivery of education courses. So it offers a consistent interface, customizable for different group of learners. It is integrated. So once you log into portal, you have all the services through Blackboard, and it basically provides a technology-based solution to all the learning paradigms, communication, collaboration, group-based learning, and so on. You can see the educational features of LMS, that it allows you to address different learning styles by having content options, diverse content options. You have course creation tools, you have assessments, communication, and reporting. Of course, we will look into some of these. And of course, if you have any questions specific to any tool, please feel free to ask. Some of the educational features, of course, in addition to uploading the content, and you have access to students, grading, and so on, you have content editor, you have different options with that content editor, you have item analysis in quizzes, especially when you have different type of questions and you give them some sort of difficulty level and so on. So you can do a quick analysis of the type of questions that you are giving and how the students are answering, so you can get a better idea of how to improve your quizzes. Grade Center is the place where you publish all your grades, and you have different types of options over there. You can upload it either through Excel. I mean, you can work locally, or you can directly enter the grades. Each student will see his or her marks individually without anybody else's marks, and you have negative marking, regrading, visual indicators, and so on. Some of the additional educational features include online assessments, you have time assessments, you have question reuse, discovery, multiple question types. One thing to notice over here is that Blackboard is a learning management system. It's not an assessment management system. So we have received certain requests from faculty members saying that we would like to have any specific, assessment, a sort of full-fledged assessment capability. But of course, Blackboard, as I mentioned, it's not an assessment management system. It does provide a lot of variety of assessments, but it's not a full-fledged assessment management system. So some of the things, I can give you an example. In Blackboard, when you have an assessment, you can time the assessment, not each question. You cannot put a time limit on each question. Rather than you have to put a time limit on the assessment itself. So you have certain limitations, certain restrictions that you can do. So it will be good to know those limitations, because if you are planning for a full-fledged online assessment, it might not be really the tool to use. So we have to understand this. Blackboard does have user-centric interface. You have drag and drop, expand and collapse, inline grading, notifications, dashboard, and so on. Other tools include active collaboration like wikis, blogs, journals, and you also have mashups like YouTube, Flickr, and SlideShare, so you can include the YouTube content directly into your course as a mashup. And then in addition to that, you have cloud services from content cloud services like Google Drive, OneDrive, and so on. Course themes and structure basically provide you a quick setup guide where you can, structure content themes. For example, if you are working on a project course, so you will have a different set of menu and structure. So it allows that. If you have a case study, it's a different type of layout. Excuse me. So those themes and structures are allowed are available in Blackboard for you to set up. Does somebody have any question? I can see a mic turn on. Let me turn it off if you don't have a question. If you don't mind, please. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, then we have easy update and management of files, where you can map network drives, update content offline, and then resync. You have support for Mac and Windows, and so on. Just a quick highlight. I'll just take not more than 20 seconds. This basically shows you the list of different learning management system, and Blackboard historically has sort of merged or with other learning management systems like WebCT and Angel, and eventually it has almost 30% of market share. If you are interested in looking at the history, please go through this graph later on. So it talks about other learning management systems like Canvas, Sakai, Moodle, and there are other like homegrown systems and so on. A quick statistics and trends for post-COVID world from the faculty perspective. About close to 80% of faculty members agree that LMS is critical to their teaching, and especially during the pandemic and fully online courses. You have faculty members agreed that it is really critical. And even from your experience now, since you have taught both in online and offline, you can pick and choose which activities or which classroom activities work better in online and which work better in physical. So now you have the leverage, like you can select the best of the two depending on what can be used. In addition to this, almost all of the 90% of have used most of the features of LMS, mainly for pushing out information, giving grades, collecting assignments, and so on. So this is the essential statistics. I'm sure you're all familiar and you have all used it. From a student perspective, also the numbers are very similar. They have seen that LMS had a positive impact on the satisfaction, productivity, and teaching during the COVID, and there are some references for this if you are interested in the statistics. Okay, now let me come back to Blackboard modules. Blackboard essentially has these mobile app modules, which is for instructors and students. So if you'd like to use the mobile app for the instructor, it's this one with the orange background and like a note with additional like post-it notes or something. So this is an instructor app, and one with the pencil in the blue background icon is for the student. Now, as Blackboard, as an instructor, you will have to design your course, like add content, make assignments, create a quiz, deploy a quiz. Those things require a bigger screen. So as an instructor, a Blackboard instructor app, in my experience and opinion, and from what I have heard from other instructors, it's not really beneficial. I mean, it does help you in terms of reviewing the content and making sure the content is there and it's working fine, but it's to design a course or to upload material, it's much easier to do it on a laptop or a desktop where you have a bigger screen, or an iPad or a tablet where you have a little better, bigger screen. But from the student perspective, the student app is very popular. The students love it because they are on the receiving end. They just have to maybe look at the content or see their grades and so on. So it's much easier to view content on a mobile device compared to a laptop. Of course, it works, but students, the student app is more popular among students as compared to the instructor app. But if you are interested, you can just go ahead and try this app on your mobile or a tablet device. In addition to this, we have a Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, which is basically like a Zoom or a Teams application that allows for an online meeting. The major advantage is that it runs directly in a browser using web real-time communication protocol. So you basically don't have to install any app. It just runs in the browser. Of course, it has limitations. It runs on Chrome, Firefox. It doesn't run on some other browsers like Opera and so on, but it runs on the major popular browsers. So the advantage again is part of Blackboard. Everything is recorded in Blackboard and stays, and the recording is accessible to students within Blackboard course itself. So it's much more accessible and easily, easy to use for instructors who are using Blackboard and want to contain all the content and the recordings and online sessions in one place. More on this later on, but I'm sure some of you have definitely used Blackboard Collaborate Ultra for their online classes. Okay, having said that, let me quickly talk about some of the documentation services. If you log into Blackboard, you will see a resources page on the upper right side, which basically lists all the resources. I know it's a little bit cluttered, but it's at least organized as modules, so you can look at the resource for a specific module. There are a lot of third-party tools and integrations using LTI integration. So KFUPM Blackboard has integration with other third-party tools like Turnitin, like Piazza, and other tools. I'll quickly go over it. We have digital textbook integrations. So you have Wiley Plus, WebAssign, and couple of other publishers like Pearson and McGraw-Hill. So we have integration with it. Please check with your department chair or your dean to see which textbooks, because these have to be purchased. The integration part is available by Blackboard, but as an instructor, as a department, you have to purchase the book with the access codes. So please check with your department chair or the dean to make sure that it's really part of the textbook that was purchased by the university. So it might not work unless you don't have the access code. But as an integration feature, it's linked and already available, and some of the departments are already using it for quite some time. We used to have Respondus and Lockdown browser earlier. I'm sorry, I have to remove the Lockdown browser because it was available until late last year, early this semester. So the Respondus tool is used, but the Lockdown browser was there. It was essentially for online classes, but now we don't have it. So I'll have to remove that. We also have Turnitin and Safe Assign. Turnitin is a plagiarism detection service by Turnitin company, and Safe Assign is the similar service but provided by Blackboard. So both tools provide plagiarism service to detect plagiarism for assignments for students, and a lot of faculty members in the English language department and other departments are already using it. We have Blackboard tips that we send out occasionally to faculty members about some of the essential tips, or if there is something new, or just a reminder like making the course available and notifications dashboard and so on. So those tips will also be available. In addition to this, there are some video online courses and comprehensive online courses as a resource. You might want to look at it when you log into Blackboard. So if you are interested, you might want to try that out. A couple of tools that I would like to mention right now, but I will not go over all of these tools. Some of these tools I'll go in a little bit more detailed in the advanced workshop next week. But for this week, I will look at some of the essential tools. This is a list of the common tools that are used mostly in the university. But of course, in addition to this, there are other tools that are also available. It might not be listed here for the limited space, but there are definitely more tools available. Excuse me. So one recommendation here, if you can see, is as a best practice, it is recommended to use a proper tool for any task, which looks so obvious, but it's important to mention, like some of the instructors have used announcements or some other tool like sending an email of all the grades to the students. So our recommendation is that please use the Grade Center for pushing grades, because it does all sorts of calculations. Each student sees their grade, and it's designed for handling grades. So some instructors have used announcements before. Our recommendation is please use the proper tool for any task, because it will help you in sort of making a change or action. So you don't, for example, if you have some updates on the grades, you don't want to send it again. You just maybe want to change just a grade of a student. So things like that, you'll have to recommend. It's recommended to use a proper tool for any task. For support, the first place that I would recommend is that please go to help.blackboard.com. This is the help provided by official Blackboard company. It is, and the version that KFUPM is using is Blackboard Learn Original Experience, because there is an Ultra Experience that is a cloud-based. We are Original Experience because our systems are physically located in KFUPM, so it's Original Experience. There are pluses and minuses of both sides, but we'll not go into that. We'll look into the feature. But if you need help about any Blackboard tool or feature, please go to help.blackboard.com and use the instructor and then KFUPM Original Experience. And the help is again categorized here by instructor, student, and administrator. So you might want to go in instructor and look at how any tool has to be set up using the instructor privilege. In addition to this, if you need any help, or if you face any problem, or if you are having any clarification, if you require any clarification, please go to the eDesk ITC help desk or eDesk, and it can be accessed through the portal or directly through this link. Please raise a request, and somebody will be able to at least address your concern. I most of the time look at functional issues. Technical issues are accessed by ICTC, and they reply. So there's more than one person looking at it, and you will get a reply depending on the severity of the case. So thank you for this for your time for going over the presentation. Now we will go over a quick demo and use some of the tools and features in Blackboard. You will have to log into Blackboard using your portal credentials. So if you are already especially for new faculty members, if you are able to access KFUPM portal, please log in over there and click on Blackboard. Or there is a direct link. If you are already familiar, just go to blackboard.kfupm.edu.sa. One word of warning for non-teaching faculty members or first-time faculty members or faculty members who have been here for some time but have not taught a course, like if you are in RI or IRCs or some other department where you don't teach regularly, it's possible that your account might not have been initiated. So if you log into portal, it works fine, but if you log into Blackboard, it might give you an error saying that you don't have an account or it gives some sort of error. In that case, what happens? Let me give a quick background. Normally, for new faculty members, a course is assigned in the registration system, in the banner system, the registrar system. And as soon as the instructor is assigned to that course, Blackboard and banner synchronize, and your course will appear in Blackboard as well. And if your account is not created, it will be created in Blackboard. But until that happens, which for this semester will happen maybe tomorrow or day after, please bear with us. Normally, all courses that the instructor is teaching appears 1 week before the classes start so that they can prepare the content, but we try to do it a little bit earlier. And of course, there are changes like instructors are reassigned courses, the students change their sections and so on. That updates typically happen like 3 to 4 times a day and it synchronizes. So if you are assigned a course, if you don't see it immediately in Blackboard, just be patient. It happens usually by the end of the day or early next day. So this is before the classes started. Once the classes started, things should all be in place. And if you face any issue, just bear with the system for a couple of hours. Maybe it just synchronizing and it appears as soon as the synchronization finishes. So I hope I clarified the essential, give an idea of what the system looks like. If you have any questions, please feel free to put in the chat. At this point, I will stop the presentation, turn off my video because I will do a quick demo. So please allow me to do that. Just give me a second. Okay, so the screen sharing has stopped, the video has stopped. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll go to the demo right now. Any questions? Okay, excellent. Okay, let me just turn off my video and I will start sharing my desktop screen. Just give me a second. Okay, is everybody able to see my shared screen? Okay, I have a question regarding attendance. I think attendance, I will come to it. I will hold on to your question. We'll come back a little later, if you allow me. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sarwar. Okay. Okay. Just give me a second, please. Okay, I hope everyone is able to see the URL blackboard.kfupm, and they should be able to log in with portal ID, or you can go to portal and click on KFUPM SAML. I think SAML is the new one. ADFS was the little bit old one, which but SAML is working. Otherwise, you can just log in with your portal username and password. You should be able to log in. Okay, once you log in, quick interface review for new faculty members. Once you log in, you should be able to see all the courses that you are teaching in this current term. In KFUPM, we have this term 221, which is 2022 first term, and you can see the previous terms. If you are teaching for a long time, you will see a long list of courses. You can organize the courses by clicking on this wheel-like icon over here, where you can, once you click, you should be able to group from different group by term and see which terms you would like to see and hide. Of course, you will see a long list of courses. You can customize it by showing or hiding it or moving it up and down. You can just arrange and organize it upon your preference. So you'll see a long list. I have been here for a long time, and I have been involved in a lot of course development. So you can see a long list, but I'm not teaching per se. So I don't have courses that are taught in regular semesters by faculty and students. I have more like workshop related courses and some resources and so on. So this is basically the interface for the web courses. What you will see in addition to this web courses there are different modules like for tools, for news, announcements, institutional feedback surveys, and so on. Of course, again, everything is customizable. You can move as and how you prefer. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. You mentioned courses will be updated tomorrow. Yeah, most likely tomorrow or day after, but hopefully by the end of this week, you will see. I cannot see your shared screen. Let me share again, just a second. Okay, participants should now be able to see your screen. I hope you can see the screen now. If not, just refresh your screen. I hope everybody else was seeing it, but just to be sure, Dr. Haitam. Okay, I hope you can see it. If you're not, please let me know.
Yes, we see it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so what happens is you can see a list of courses that will appear for the upcoming semester 221. The classes will start on August 28th. So you will be able to see the let me just look at the date. So you should be able to see hopefully before 21st of August, hopefully by the end of this week. But if something, because we are just working with ICTC to finalize a couple of things, hopefully it should be available. And once it's available, you can categorize it based on the term, like these are the previous course terms and so on. Similar is the case for DCC faculty members. I know some of the faculty members are in DCC, but DCC, it might take a little bit more than that because we have a different set of integration with DCC, student information system. So DCC faculty members, you might have to wait a couple of days more. But again, on first day one of your classes, or you should be able to access your course just as in the system, just as any other faculty member. Okay. A little bit more about these tabs. On the upper right side, you will see web courses. This is the first place where you enter the course. System admin, you will not see it because I'm the system admin. I will see it. You will see online courses and resources. So before I go into the resources, let me quickly come back here to the web courses, show you one important thing about the main page, and then we will go to the resources part. So on this, you will see this is the main tab, web courses, and then you will have my web courses and notifications dashboard. So these are the two places where you can sort of toggle in between. Now, notifications dashboard is a place where it generates all the notifications for each course. So you'll have to look at the course, and if you are teaching a course, you should be able to see, make changes for the notification. So if I click on notifications dashboard and I click on edit notification settings, I will see the list of, so there are some general settings and there are some individual course settings. So you can see the list of courses that there are some minor changes. You don't have to worry about these signs, which basically means I changed some notifications which I wanted to change. So if I go to any specific course, for example, if I go to, let's say, this current course that I am that I just made for this workshop, if I go to this course, what happens is I get notifications for these activities: announcements, assignments due, assignments needs grading, and so on. So there are about like 25 activities for which notifications are generated. The dashboard is the place, this within Blackboard is the place where you get all the notifications. You also get notifications by email, and you also get notifications on your mobile as just as a, as a pop-up or a banner type message on your mobile. So for each course, each user, whether instructor or student, they can customize their notifications, how they receive it, if they want to receive it, if they don't want to receive it. Now, typically, all the notifications are enabled by default. Typically, you can always turn off notifications. So if I turn it off for myself, I can turn off all email notifications. Dashboard, there are some that I cannot change. For example, these announcement assignment, they always appear on dashboard. Dashboard is, by the way, the first place where you enter the notifications dashboard, you will see the notifications here, like what's due, all items passed tomorrow, some alerts. So this is the place where it does not disturb you. But if you want to have a quick look, if you are teaching in many sections, it's a good place to see. But if you want to make changes, click on edit notification settings, click on the specific course, make some changes. For example, I don't want any notification on my mobile device, for example, and then I click submit. The moment I do that, I will see a small sort of warning here at the end, which means I have changed some of the default notifications. That's all. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't harm anything. But if you don't get any notification, please come and check here if you have disabled notification for any course. Now, one important point over here is you can change the notifications for you and yourself only. This is not for others. This is more like you are customizing how you want to see the notifications. That's all. For others, you can just guide them saying, if you don't want notifications, you can just turn it off yourself. It has to be your self account. Because at some point, some faculty members say, I want to turn on the notification of my students if they have turned it off. I said, no, you cannot do it as an instructor. There is one small way to make changes to it, make a force notification. I'll come to that in the announcement, but unless other than that, you cannot do that. There are some general settings over here where you can sort of get individual messages or daily digest, because sometimes I see some instructors are enrolled as co-op coordinators or course coordinators where they get like 30, 40 emails in one shot, and it sort of populates their inbox. It's better to sort of daily digest it, and so it comes sometime in the evening, late in the night, maybe it compiles all of the emails and sends it to you. So that is an option if you are if you get a lot of emails on a daily basis. So that's it about notification settings. Any questions for notification dashboard or notification settings? Please let me know. Otherwise, we'll just move on to the next topic. Okay, I think it's all clear. Of course, if you get any issues or any queries, please feel free to ask about it later on. Let's come to the resources. Before we go to the courses, let's come to the resources page. On the upper right side, you will see a resources page. If you look into the resources, there are a lot of resources that have been compiled over the years. So if you scroll down, you will see that we used this in the previous term 202. You have getting started workshop handouts like the presentation PDF, and there are some essentials like how to make the course available, copying course, managing my course module settings, and so on. There is online attendance tool. Dr. Sarwar asked about it. I'll come to it just just at the end of this resources page, because there is an online attendance tool available in Blackboard that is used. So there is a PDF file. I'll come to it in a couple of minutes. There are some Blackboard tips, help. We send out also emails, but it's also available as a tip. So if you log in, you should be able to see, for example, notifications dashboard, there is a tip. It sort of summarizes what it does, and like a small reminder where is the notifications dashboard, how to access it, and how to make changes, and so on. We do have Respondus, a third-party assessment, testing and assessment tool. So it's a Windows-based application to create easy-to-use interface Blackboard assessment. So you create locally in the app and then publish it to Blackboard. So it sort of speeds up the process, especially if you are having assessments that you have to publish in multiple courses. So that can be helpful. If you are interested in Respondus, just send an email, just create an e-desk with this information, and we'll send out. Because of the license limitation, we cannot put the license information and the application here. So you'll have to sort of make an e-desk, and we will take care of it. So I'm going from, there are 3 columns here. I'm going from the first column top to bottom. So let me do that, and then we'll go to the second and the third column. Next, we have Blackboard Help for instructors. I did mention Blackboard Help is available for instructors and students in English and Arabic languages. And if you look at the help web page, which I mentioned is help.blackboard.com, if you click on it, you should be able to see something like this. So you get Blackboard Help for instructors. Let me just close this. So if you go to the main homepage, let me just. So either you are a student, instructor, administrator. So I'm going to say instructor. And we are a college or a university. And then we are using Blackboard Learn. So if I click on Blackboard Learn, of course, there are other tools like, as I mentioned, Blackboard mobile app, student app, and other websites. So we'll go for Blackboard Learn. Yes. Does somebody have any questions? Okay, maybe the mic was on by mistake. Okay. So Blackboard Help for instructors is available, and some of the common issues are mentioned, some of the popular pages, or you can explore Ultra Experience, Original versus Ultra Highlights, Original Experience. As I mentioned, we are Original Experience. So if you click on Original Experience, for each topic, you have different, subtopics, how to getting started, interact with students, watch videos, assignments, test pools and surveys, course content. So if you want to watch some videos, there are videos available. It's a playlist available for different activities, how to build your course, and so on. So I encourage you to spend some time over here. Of course, they are available on YouTube. If you search directly, it's also available. But if you want to go through this, it's also available over here. Okay, so this is basically the Blackboard help for instructors, as well as similar help for students. Again, for students, it's a little bit organized differently. Next, we have Turnitin integration for Blackboard. As you are aware, Turnitin is a plagiarism detection service, so it's integrated with Blackboard. There is an instructor manual and a student manual on how to enable Turnitin. By default, it's already there. You just have to go and create a Turnitin assignment just as you create a regular assignment. So I encourage you to spend some time. Maybe I'll give a quick demo once we are in the course. Similar to Turnitin, you have Safe Assign. Safe Assign is built in by Blackboard. It does a very similar job as Turnitin. It generates a similar originality report and a similarity report, and because it's integrated directly in Blackboard, there are, the number of sources that it compares to is less because it's sort of part of Blackboard. It's not open to everyone else, but Turnitin is like a bigger. It has a larger repository database of papers, so Turnitin tends to give you better results from our experience. Safe Assign is sort of limited to Blackboard customers and some internet resources. Okay. Let me just look at the chat if there are any questions. There is a check mark. I can clear that. Okay, that's fine. I think, okay, we are all okay. Okay, next, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. It's web conferencing tool. If you have used Zoom or Teams, it's very much similar, and it is part of Blackboard, so you don't have to install anything. It runs directly in the browser. Again, it's very similar. It's part of it starts within Blackboard itself. You don't have to install. It runs in a browser and so on. So once you are in Blackboard, you should be able to see in the list of courses Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. So if somebody has any questions, we can maybe have a separate session on Ultra later on if somebody is interested. But essentially, I'm sure all of you have used some communication tool or the other. So this will be just like a different interface, but you will get familiar and comfortable with it very soon if you have not used it before. Course sections merging. Blackboard does have option to merge or consolidate different sections if the instructor is teaching multiple courses and would like to have all their sections merged. Okay, somebody asked me a question: how can we integrate Turnitin with Blackboard? I'll show you an example. It's there already. When I come to the course, I will show about. I'll talk about it. So please be patient a little bit. I'll come to it. So course merging allows you. It has to be done by the administrator. You have to create an eDesk request. Sometimes you'd like to merge all the child sections as one. Sometimes you'd like to have a separate common section. Whatever your preference is, please open an eDesk, and as an administrator, this will be done from the ICTC or myself, and then you'll have a merger of the courses, merger of the sections. Unfortunately, this is not available as a self-service to faculty members, so they cannot do it themselves. Unfortunately, this is a limitation of the system, but we will take care of these requests on a case-by-case basis. There are some advanced Blackboard workshop handout materials. So if you are interested in a specific content like how to create an assignment, there is a handout and a presentation. There are test, grade center, rubrics, and so on. These are the official materials. It's a bit old, but still, like 80–90% is very much similar. So you'll get an idea of these different tools as a workshop material sort of training rather than just a video. So if you are interested with screenshots and everything, it has these handouts and presentations. I encourage you to try that out if you are interested in any specific topic. So that's with the second column. Let's go to the third column. The third column is some online tools and tips, and there is a course called Inquiry-Based Learning. So if you are interested, and some faculty members ask for it, so it's like a repository inquiry-based learning course. If you click on it, you should be able to self-sign on, and you should be able to access the content and the videos of inquiry-based learning. ICTC Help Desk is the first place where you contact for IT services. So the easiest, the most recommended one is please create an eDesk request. If you are a new faculty member and if you don't have a portal account, please ask your department colleague or department secretary to create an eDesk on your behalf, and somebody will take care of your request. I talked about Responders, but Responders did have a tool lockdown browser, which is not enabled right now. So this was for term 202. So I'm going to skip this. There is a Blackboard mobile app, which I mentioned, one for the instructor, the one in orange, and one for the student, the one in blue. So if you'd like to try out a mobile app, as I mentioned, you can try out for iOS and Android devices. Just click on the link and you should be, or search on App Store or Play Store, you should be able to find it. A couple of more resources. I talked about online courses. I'll just show it to you in a minute. You have Blackboard Drive, which basically allows you to upload content directly to the Blackboard course as a resource, as a repository. So if you are interested in Blackboard Drive, this is more like this was there before, where you had Google Drive commonly integrated with Blackboard, or OneDrive. Now you have OneDrive and Google Drive, which allows you to upload content from there as well. So this is Blackboard Drive is part of the Blackboard system itself. I did mention about digital textbook integrations, like KFUPM has the following building blocks integrated for textbook publishers like Vital Source, Cengage, McGraw-Hill, Pearson, Wiley Plus. So please contact your department head if you are using a textbook that already has the integration with or access code for content with that publisher. And there are some other newsletters, and these are a little bit old. Maybe they need to, this was on the last semester. Okay, let me come to the main, let me go to the main course, but before I go to the course, let me quickly talk about online courses. Online courses are like a resources. They were developed a couple of years ago. Some are video online courses for prep year math, mechanical engineering, and even 1 and 2 level courses of math and physics. These are video online courses. These are available as videos developed by faculty members at the university. Then we have comprehensive online courses that were developed a couple of years earlier, where when MOOCs and hybrid online courses were becoming popular. So at that time, so it's a little bit old, but still you can still access it. Students can still access it using self-enroll. They can self-enroll. If you see, it's highlighted over here. Just follow the steps, go to the course. So you can click on the course and enroll yourself. And even in English, there are courses, majority of the courses are in English, but there are some courses in Arabic as well, for Islamic and Arabic studies. Excuse me. So there are courses in English and Arabic, and it's computer science, mathematics, and so on. So if you are interested, just go to this course, self-enroll, and look at the content. It will be available to the students if they would like to. Anybody who has a Blackboard account can log in and access these courses. So that's all about notifications, dashboard, resources, and online courses. So now let me go into the actual course and do some demonstration within the course. So by default, your course at the beginning of the semester will look something like this. It says your course ID and course name, which of course, if you look into the registration website. So if I go to the registrar website, I can see the course offering. I can look at the term current, the upcoming term 221, and I can look at any course. So these courses will automatically appear with the course name, CRN. Right now, there are no instructors assigned to it. Maybe let me just look at the department. Okay. Just give me a second. There is a message I think we should, that if someone would like to use it. Can you please clarify, Dr. Abdullah?
Yes, assalamu alaikum. Some of the courses we have been assigned to those courses as a student. So to use the app, I think we should also download the student version as well.
Yes, of course. It's better. because once you use the instructor app, you will be accessing the course as an instructor. So it might not. So as a student app will be better. Just a second, can you excuse me for a minute? Yeah, sorry about that. So yes, you need to download both the apps and try out. But as I mentioned, the app as a student is more user friendly and functional compared to the instructor app because of uploading and creating the course. Okay, so if you have these courses that you are teaching, I'm seeing the list of instructors from the registrar website. As I can see, some courses are not yet assigned, so you will not see that course unless it's assigned over here. The moment it is assigned, Blackboard and Banner synchronize, and you will have the course available in your course list as soon as, after synchronization, couple of hours after the synchronization happens, and it will be available. So right now you will see something like this. At the beginning, you will see the name of the course, and it will say not currently available. Not currently available means it's not currently available to students only, not for instructors. Instructors can just click on it and they should be able to see something like this. It's a plain blank vanilla course with some of the course menu, some content area, and you have the control panel. So if I come back over here, I can see not currently available, which means it's only to the students. So instructors can click on this. Now, once you click on this, you will see the course menu. Let me just talk about the course menu before I upload something. The course menu by default is visible, but if you'd like to compress it, it sort of shows and hides. Now, one of the common problem over here is the moment you try to zoom in the web page. For example, if you zoom in like 200% or something, the course menu automatically hides. Now, this sometimes becomes irritation, like you don't see where is the course menu and you want to come back to it. So this is typically when you have to manually enforce it to open it. But again, the moment you zoom in and out, it might collapse, and then you have to expand it again. So the best recommendation is always try to reset it to 100%, and then the course menu always becomes visible. This is always the case. The moment it's more than 100%, it tries to automatically collapse, and you have to explicitly expand it. So this is one of the common features that some of the faculty members have faced, and it's because of the browser zoom percentage. So always recommendation is always try to keep it to 100%. Towards the end, you will see the control panel. We'll come to this in a minute. This is the course menu. By default, the course menu has different links. These are all links. So you can click on course content. You have course content. So course syllabus right now, everything is empty. This is how you will see at the beginning of every semester. If you'd like to make any changes to the course menu, you are, full freedom to do that. You can just scroll up and down, and you can just add another syllabus. So there is a plus sign at the top left, which says content area. If you'd like to add a content area, for example, this course syllabus is a content area where you add content. Assignment is a content area where you add content. So all these content links are here. It's just renamed differently. If you would like to have something like homework, for example, I can say content area, and I can call it homeworks. Okay. I will say it available to users and click submit. So once I do that, I will see homeworks at the lower end of the course menu, and I can just drag and drop and place it wherever I would like to have. So I can put on homeworks, and then I can just add something. So it's very customizable. It's very flexible, but only as a GUI. And if you'd like to add any HTML tags, you are welcome to do that. So if you want to change the homework color in red, for example, so you can just rename the link. You can type whatever you want, but since this is a browser, if you are familiar with HTML, you can do something like font color is equal to red. And at the end, you can say /font. I hope it works, because normally I did it work? No, normally I use this. Let me just see, what did I use? Sorry about that. Yeah, it has to be just. So I will just say font is equal to red, and I have to close this. Let me call it homeworks and say yes. So I get homeworks in red color if you are interested. So you can try that out if you are familiar with basic HTML or just search online. You can highlight something by making changes to these links. If you don't want, of course, you just delete this link and that's all. Delete content. These will just delete the links. That's all, and so on. Now, if you look at this home icon over here, this basically takes you to the course entry page. Now, by default, the course entry page is contact, so it's empty. You can add any content to it, and I will add the course entry page in a minute. So before I do that, let me respond to the two questions that somebody asked. One is integration of Turnitin. Okay, I can come to that. And one is about attendance. Okay, I'll come to that in a couple of minutes. Just give me some time, please. So let me start. Before I go up further, let me talk about a little bit on the upper right side over here. So let me just zoom in over here. These 3-4 icons that I would like to quickly talk about. The first one is student preview. So if you see this double-headed arrow with a dot, this is a student preview. Basically, what it does is it allows you to view the content as a student. So I'll come to that in a minute. The second one is change the course theme. So you can change the course theme to make it a little bit more attractive and relevant. So for example, if you are teaching chemistry course, you can add a chemistry theme and so on, or mathematics and so on. The third one is make the course available. By default, the course is unavailable. If you remember, when you're looking at the course, it says course not available. So this is the place where you come and make the course available. And finally, you have edit mode on and off. So edit mode on and off means this is historical from legacy systems where you make changes to it and see if it's working or not. But essentially, it's more like a designer versus an instructor mode. And it only hides essentially the ones that are not supposed to be seen to students, but you still see the control panel. So it's something in the middle. So let me just zoom to 100% normal and then talk about, because these icons are small, I just zoomed in only to show you from a closer perspective. So let me just reset. And as I mentioned, the course menu goes away, you have to bring it back. So let me first talk about the edit mode on or off. So now if I click these links, okay, these links where you have these, grayed out boxes, which means there is no content over here. So if you click on course content, this is empty. If you click on assessment, this is empty. If you click on course tools, this diagonal lines means this is hidden from the students. So if you click on it, there are some links or buttons over here, but this is not visible to the student. The instructor information, right now there is nothing. So, I can create something as an instructor information. I can create a contact. I will call myself title first name as Blackboard administrator. Email is something like webdad. That's all. And I can upload a photo or a link. I'll make the profile available and submit. But I'm making my own profile as a Blackboard administrator is the name. And if I upload a photo, it will be visible here. Let me upload a photo. Let me make it a little bit more. See if I have a KFUPM logo on the desktop. Okay. A photo will appear, whatever photo you upload, with some distortion or something you might have to adjust. But what I'm trying to say is this instructor information is now visible and you can hide the link, or, it becomes hidden, or you can show the link. But by default, if you go to the home page, it's coming to filter. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let me bring back teaching style. Okay. Okay, by default, what happens is this home button. This home button is basically the course entry point. This is the first place the students, when they enter the course, they will see this, even when you enter. So if you enter the course, the first place, you will see this course entry point as the first page. Now, sometimes you don't want the course entry page to be context. You want it to be the syllabus or something. So you have to populate it, or sometimes you just want it to be the announcements, for example. So to make the announcement, to change the course entry point, you have to do this. Let me just show it to you first. To change the course entry point, this is the first place. To change it, go to control panel, customization, teaching style, and select the course entry point and select it from the drop-down list. Only that appear to students will in the course menu will be visible. So you can go to this. Let me do that. So if I go to customization and teaching style on the left side, and there are other themes, I can go to, for example, announcements as the first course entry point, and I click submit. Now, once I do this and I click on the home icon, you can see that announcements is the first page. So if you get out of the course, come back to the course, you'll see the announcements as the first page. This is the announcements. So I think this is relatively straightforward, the course entry point. Let me come to the next, which is themes. Let me just change the course theme. As I mentioned, if you would like to change the theme to, for example, chemistry. So you will see the whole icons change, the background change. Okay, can you go slowly? Okay, let me try to go a little bit more slower. Sorry about that. I hope the course entry point was straightforward. If not, I'll come back to it again. So course entry point, you have to go to customization and control panel, customization, teaching style, and select entry point. Select course entry point from the drop-down list. That will make the course entry point the first point when you enter the course. Okay, so I made announcements as the course entry point. Okay, let me come to themes a little bit. So instead of chemistry, if it's a math course, for example, you change the theme. So you have different green, brown, and other combinations. Again, this is cosmetic changes, but sometimes it makes student a little bit more appealing. If you don't want any of these things, let me bring it back to the default one, which is something like a default Blackboard theme. So this is about the course entry point. I talked about the home icon. Let me talk about the course available. I think this is very important. If you see this orange padlock icon, you will see that it's locked, and which means the course is unavailable to students. If you look from outside, you will also see that course is not currently available. So all these three things mean that student cannot see the course in their course list. In order to do that, the instructor has to enter the course, click on make available only once. Right now, this course has all the students or majority of the students that have registered for this workshop. So the moment I make it available, if you are already logged into Blackboard, you should see this course in your course list. So I'm going to make it available. If I make it available, the icon changes to open, which means the students can see this course. You can see that this text has gone. This course is not available to students. And if you look outside, it will just see the name of the course, not currently available, will not be visible, which means the course is visible to students. So if you are already in Blackboard, just log into Blackboard. You should see this course visible to you because you have registered in this workshop. You will see that courses where you are students. So because your role is a student. Now, as an instructor, if I would like to see how many students are there in my course, I will go to the course basically. I will scroll down to the control panel, and in control panel, I will have users and groups on the lower left side. And in the users and groups, there are users. So if I click on users, you should be able to see, I should be, as an instructor, I should be able to see all the users enrolled in this course, which I can see there are about 93 users, including myself as a student. Dr. Osama Mohsen, you said I cannot see this course. Just give me a second. Let me see if you are already there in this course. Let me scroll down and say show all. I can see Osama Mohsen is already in this course. So if you log into Blackboard, you should be able to see this course. If you log into Blackboard, here you should be able to see under course term 211, or if you have not categorized, you should see 221 DAD workshop introduction to Blackboard. Just try it on. You should be able to see. Not yet. No, you should be able to see. Let's just give me a second. Let me check from another browser. Just give me a second. Just a second. Let me check. I'm using student. I mean, I'm using the user profile. Okay, the term. Okay, I'm going to share the screen of Dr. Osama Mohsin. Is this correct? You are seeing something like this, right? So right now, what I mentioned is you are seeing this comprehensive online course and 212. If I go to the module settings, this term is somehow hidden from you. So just I'm showing it and I'm clicking submit. Then you should be able to see this course. So just refresh now, it should be fine. And see your courses where you are a student. So this is like the student where you see this course. I hope it's clear. You can see it now. Excellent. So you will see the course as a student. You have, limited links available, limited content. So this is how the student sees it. Let me just.
Excuse me. So what you're saying is that I can hide it from specific students. This is what happened. Like that's why I couldn't see it in the first place.
No. It was not listed. I mean, it was the student had hidden it, or the term was hidden from the student.
Okay, so this is specifically for me, or for all the students?
No. By default, I think yours is a special case, Dr. Osama, because if you remember, you had a separate private account before you joined in, and therefore I think that's why the problem is there. But if you don't see at any time, you can always come and make changes to the module. It will appear over here. Definitely, if something you have access to, it will appear over here. And for example, if you want to hide this previous 2 terms, for example, and submit, it's just hidden. You just hide it, and maybe you had hidden it, or the system hid it because of 2 conflicting usernames. For whatever reason, you can always click on this.
Okay, so this is from a student's perspective. Like the student can do that, not from like an instructor.
No.
Perspective, you know what I mean? Is if there is a course and the student is enrolled, he can hide it, or show it.
Yes. Now let me clarify your query by giving this example. Right now, as a student, you can see this course. Okay. Let me come over here as an instructor. Okay. I will go to my course as an instructor. I will just make unavailable. Okay. Let me make it unavailable. The moment I make it unavailable, it says not currently available. Now, if I look at my student perspective, if I go to web courses, it becomes invisible. You don't have the link at all. You can't go into that course. Does that clarify your question?
Yes.
So now, if for some reason, if you are making changes to the course, or you don't want the student to see the course, the first step is go to the course, make it unavailable. The moment you make it available, the student will immediately see the course as soon as he refreshes.
And this is for all the students. There is no way like I can select a group of students to see and another group not to see. Is that true? Does it work?
Yes, it works. But right now, this padlock icon works only for the whole course and all the students in one shot. If you want to control the visibility of content of different students, you have to go into adaptive release. It's one at a time. You have to control one at a time. I will talk about this more in the advanced workshop next week. But until then, the answer is yes, it's possible. You have to do it with adaptive release.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
So I think that clears from the student perspective. So the instructor can make the course available and unavailable. So we have complaints from both the sides. Sometimes the instructor said, if I, for example, make the course unavailable, the instructor said not currently available. So the instructor was waiting that it becomes available automatically. No, this is for the students' unavailability. You have to go in and make the course available. And the same thing vice versa. Some students have complained that I'm enrolled in the course, but I cannot see the course. The only reason is, or one of the major reason is, the instructor had not made the course available yet. So the students do not see this course in their course list. So these type of issues are very common, like let's say 10% or 15% of the cases, but only in the beginning of the semester when, either they enroll, unenroll, and they change the section and so on. But it usually gets resolved immediately. So that's about the course availability. The next point that I would like to show is edit mode on and off. As you can see, some of the links are hidden, some are not visible, or some are empty. If you just turn the edit mode off, you basically see the course as a student, but you also see the control panel, which the students don't see the control panel. So if you look at the student perspective, I'm coming from Dr. Osama Mohsin's. I think I turned off the course, right? Yeah, let me make it available. So Dr. Osama, if you have permission, I will just toggle from the instructor and the student viewing the course just for the demonstration purpose.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Thank you. So once you enter the course as a student, you will see, if you notice, this black window is the incognito. I opened it as a separate window. You see these links, but you don't see the control panel. But if you look at the instructor information, even though you turn the edit mode off, which means you cannot make changes to the course as such, you still have the control panel. You can make some changes over here. So this edit mode is essentially, as I mentioned, from legacy systems where you had the developer and the instructor, so you just want to see. But advanced version of edit mode in Blackboard is the student preview. I think this is much more important. So before I come to student preview, I just have to show you one important information. That way you will understand the student preview much better. So if you look at Blackboard course, if you go to the users and groups and click on users, by default, you will see all the users that are enrolled in this course. Now, if I say show all, it shows that all the registrants of this workshop, with few exceptions where there are some new faculty whose accounts was not created, or DCC faculty members who have different names, or some IRC faculty members whose IDs were not created yet. Those are missing. Otherwise, we have close to 93 users over here. And you can see that majority of them are students, except this one, which is myself as an instructor. So as an instructor, you have more privileges. And you will see the list of students. Now, if you see, there are 93 users over here. What I'm trying to demonstrate is for the student preview, what happens is the moment you use the student preview, it basically creates another username with my name _ preview user, which means it's myself only, but it creates an additional user so that you can view the content or upload or behave like a student from a different user ID similar to yours. Let me show you what I mean. So right now we have 93 users. I will go into student preview from here on the upper right side. This is the button. The moment I go to student preview, it says student preview mode is on. So it's showing the course as a student. Now, as a student, I can, look at the content. I can look at the announcements. Right now, there is no announcement. You can look at other activities and so on. But there is nothing over here. Now, if I go to settings over here, it says, do not ask me about the preview user. Delete the preview user. It's recommended because if you don't want to use it. But sometimes you want to, go back and forth and look at how the student is behaving and what does the student see. So keep the preview user is an option that I would like to try for the sake of demonstration. So I'll keep this and save. So what happens is when I keep this and save and exit the preview, I notice two different things. One is, if you have noticed earlier, let me zoom in a little bit. This student preview becomes a green dot, which means that additional student user is also saved and all his activities are also saved. So if I go back to reset, and if I go to users and groups, and if you look at the list, you can see instead of 93, now there are 94 users. Now you can see there was just this one user before, which was an instructor. If you see, there is an additional user that was created, which is Blackboard admin preview user, which means this is the preview user that you are using to see the course as a student, and you can do the similar activities. I have to give you an example just to clarify. Okay, so let me come back to this in 1 minute before I do an example. So what I'm trying to say is, by the way, is the student preview clear? I mean, you basically see the course as a student and perform as a student. Okay, I think I'll have to give an example just to clarify. Before I give an example, let me talk about uploading content. I think this is also relatively straightforward. So what I'm trying to show over here is I will go to course content. This is the first place, by the way, where you come and start uploading content for the student. So this is, it uploads the content and creates it. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to click on course content, and under build content, I can upload a couple of things. Of course, there are a lot of other things, but I'm going to upload one file. So I'm going to click on file. I'm going to type in a name. Let's say this is the first presentation, for example. I can browse a local file. Let me see from the desktop. I want to use the same presentation file. And I'm going to use the default settings, either open a new window, align to content, permit users to view. I'm just going to use the default settings and click submit. The moment I click submit, I'll see a presentation and a file like icon. Let me just make a small change because this is a presentation and it's PPTX. I just would like to add it over here. It doesn't pick up the icon automatically, so I'll have to explicitly mention it. Now, by the way, most of you are already enrolled in this course as a student. The moment I made the course available, you should get an automatic email notification saying that a new course is now available, so and so, introduction to Blackboard, August 2022. I hope some of you have already received it. Can somebody confirm, please, if you have received the notification? Excellent. So you have received it. So as an instructor, you have to remember the moment you make the course available for the first time, students will receive a notification. So then they are sure that the course is available, and you can, of course, toggle back and forth. Okay, so now once you have uploaded the content, you can just click on the content and you should be able to, it automatically downloads because this is a presentation file. So let me also upload a PDF file, just for the sake of demonstration. I will upload a file. I will browse for the file. Let me select something generic. I will talk about, just a second. Let me see. I wanted to select. I wanted to select this Blackboard case, BTPB. Okay. Okay, I just wanted to select a PDF file, just for the sake of demonstration. So it's a PDF file. If I click on it, it opens directly over here, and you should be able to view the contents within, it talks about uploading images on calculated formula type questions. Excuse me. So this is one way to do it. You upload a presentation, you upload a PDF file. Now, let me come back to the same point in a student preview. Now, if I go back to student preview, I should be able to see, announcement is the home page, course content is the place that you would like the students to see. This is the instructor information. So because we kept the student preview user active, that there was a green. But if you want to delete this user, for example, if you want to delete this user, don't keep it. Every time it will create something new and then it will delete it. So this is recommended if you don't want any activity. But if you want to keep the activity, like for assignments, which I'll show you in a minute, then that is helpful. Now, by default, if you enter the course, you are seeing announcements as the first homepage. Now you say, no, I don't want the announcement. I want the course content to be the first page where the students, it should be the entry point. So all I have to do again is I will go to customizations, teaching style, and I have to select course content. Now, if you notice, course content was not available earlier, but now it is available. Can anybody give me a reason why course content is now part of the course entry point? Any ideas, any suggestions?
Because the course is available now.
No, no, the course was available. Available, unavailability does not affect. Dr. Osama mentioned correctly, there was no content inside. So if you notice, course content does have something inside. Course syllabus is empty. So that's why course syllabus is not visible over here. Anything that is empty or hidden from the student will not be the course entry point or cannot be the course entry point. So only the ones that the students can see are basically allowed to be the course entry point. Okay, so I selected course entry point as course contents and click submit. Now, if I click the home icon, I will see the presentation in the PDF file in the beginning. If I log out, I mean, go out of the course, come back again, I will see this one. If I go to the student preview, I will see the presentation in the PDF file. So some instructors faced an issue saying that the first entry point is something else, is the contact, we want to change it. So this is how you change it. So let me just quickly re-mention it. To change the course entry point, you have to go to the control panel, customization, teaching style, and then click the course entry point. The only condition is course entry point should be something visible and should have content to the student. And then it becomes it and you click submit and there you go. And of course, as I mentioned, course available and unavailable, you just have to click the toggle button and the toggle button makes it available or unavailable to the student. So this is also available here in the tools setup. So in case if you want to sort of remember it later on or revisit this, I think this place will help you, remind you of how to do it again. Okay, so any questions at this point before I come to the tools?
Yes, I have a question, if you allow me.
Yes, sure, please go ahead.
If I want to group the files or the contents together, like under a topic or under weekly files, could it be done here?
Yes, of course. So let me talk about that very quickly. So instead of uploading a file, you can create a content folder. Okay. And you call it week 1, for example. Okay, and submit. So week 1 will be a folder, and inside week 1, you can go upload a file, for example, any file. Let me just upload another, for example.
So I have to do it all over again. I can't drag and drop the files that I already uploaded outside.
Not
the file.
No, so for example, go ahead, please. Sorry.
So it wouldn't be like visibly like a tree. So all the contents would be inside that folder, and they have to upload it again. I can't take the presentation, for example, file and the PDF file that you have already uploaded. Yes.
No, you cannot drag and drop like this because it's basically a web page. So what you can do a couple of things. You can do, if you have the PDF file, you can say move to the same course, or even if you have another course, move to week 1 and submit. So this has to be done one by one, but there is a faster method to do this, by the way. Since you asked, let me show you. There is a faster method to do it. In Blackboard, there is something called document package. Now, document package allows you to upload all the files in a structured format. For example, I have an example over here. If you allow me, there is a folder called DP upload. For example, I made this, and in this folder, I have 2 weeks. In week 1, I have a handout. For example, in week 2, I have a photo of KFUPM week, and then I have a background image of KFUPM, like BG's KFUPM background. So I have this couple of files. You can have multiple files. Once you have this DP folder, you can right click and send to compressed folder, make it a zip file. So you have dp upload.zip file. So this zip file basically contains all these files in a structured format. What happens next is within Blackboard, once you come to Blackboard, there is something called, let me just maximize this. There's something called document package. You click on this. It says document package allows you to upload the zip package containing documents. It creates course contents within the course for each file. The directory structure is also translated within the system. This tool is not for uploading HTML packages. So it's only uploading as the structure that we want to have. So if you want to have a structured folder like week 1, 2, 3, 4 until 10, and all the files in one place, and you give a structure and upload and make the file ready, convert it to a zip file. And then from here, document packager, you just upload the zip file, which is dp upload.zip, for example, document packager upload. This was for the demonstration, and click submit. So once you click submit, what it does is it basically creates a folder. And inside the folder, you have a background image file. Inside week 1, you have a handout as a PDF file. Inside week 2, you have another KFUPM background is image file. So it takes that structure and uploads in one shot. So this helps, especially if you are uploading, let's say, 100 files in a structured format. So is this helpful, or
yes.
is this
Yes, that's very helpful.
So just try it out, and you can also always upload multiple times. So if something is wrong, you don't want this structure, just delete the whole thing, upload it again in one shot, and that's it. So you create another outside as a zip file and then upload it again. So let me repeat that again. What I did was, first I made a folder with a structure, and let me add one more file to it. For example, if I want to add these 2 PDF files, and I want to add this video file. Okay, so week 1, week 2 has something, and then I will delete the zip file. I will just create another zip file. And then this is the zip file. And if you just double click on it, you will see that this has multiple files. Okay. And then if I go to Blackboard, let me just open this one, and I go to build content, and I go to document package, and I browse for local file, and I select the dp upload.zip file. Please make sure you upload the zip file, not the folder, because if you upload the folder, it will give you an error. See what I mean? I'll show you. If I just upload this folder, it tries to upload one by one. It's looking for a zip file, so it will not go through. So just dp upload zip, submit. It uploads and unzips. So if you go to document upload, this is week 1, it contains one file. Week 2, it contains these 2 files, and then MP4 video file, and so on. So it bulk uploads and bulk places all with the proper name. So whatever name of the file that you keep, it will pick up the same name. It will not, of course, if you want to change something, you can change it. So instead of KFUPM background, for some reason, if you want to change it, you can, you can of course customize it later on if there is something that has to be added, and so on. So I hope this is clear at this point. Excellent. So if you have any questions, of course, keep mentioning in the chat, but I will come back to these 2 questions, one for attendance and one for Turnitin. So let me first talk about Turnitin, because it's linked over here itself. So just like you create a content, you can upload a different type of content. You have item file, sign up sheet, audio, video. I encourage, by the way, I will go over these essential ones. I encourage you to try out other ones, because I cannot cover everything, and sometimes you might want to try some things on your own, and something might not be relevant to everyone. So please try it on your own. But right now, for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to add one assignment, then I'm going to add a Turnitin assignment. So just like you upload content, you add an assignment. So I click on assessments and assignment, and I will call it homework 1, for example. And I have to give some, some instructions, some attached files, some due date, possible points, let's say out of 10. I can give a due date display after. Of course, these are all optional. I encourage you to try it out. I'm sure all of you have, or most of you have tried it out already. So I'm just going to give you a gist of it. So the assignment will look something like this. This is a normal assignment. If you want to make changes, you can come back here and under display of grades, under submission details, there is something called check submission for plagiarism using Safe Assign. So if you just check this one, it will be checked and the students will be allowed, their assignments will be checked under plagiarism with Safe Assign. So Safe Assign is as simple as that. Once you create an assignment, you check on this and that's it. You allow the students to save, it's up to you. You exclude it from global, it's up to you. So I'm going to check all of the three and click submit. So this is a normal assignment within Blackboard or normal homework within a Blackboard. Turnitin is a little bit different, but very similar. The only difference is it's not directly in Blackboard, it's integrated with Turnitin website. So if you click on Turnitin direct assignment from under assessments, you'll have to give essentially the same information, but it connects to the Turnitin service. So you have to give the homework. So I'll call it Turnitin homework 1, for example, some description, overall grade 100. I'm just going to use the default settings and click create assignment. Okay, it's giving me error because I have 2 email addresses and it's failing over here. Let me do something very quickly just for the sake of demonstration, because my username webdad is, I'm using the administrator email, it's not an instructor email. Let me log in, let me add myself as instructor. Let me log out from here, log in as Sanaullah as an instructor. And this is term 221. So this is an account, this is the course. And here I would like to create a Turnitin assignment. Please notice I'm just changing my username because of multiple email addresses. You as an instructor will not face this problem because I'm using multiple accounts, one for myself as an instructor and one for myself as an administrator. So that's why it was conflicting. But here, if I create a Turnitin assignment, I will call it Turnitin homework 1 and create assignment. I'm just using the default settings for the sake of demonstration. Please notice that it takes a couple of more seconds compared to the other one. The only reason it's communicating with, so now it created an assignment. So if you come back to course content, you will see a different icon. This is the normal homework. This is the Turnitin homework. So I hope I have answered your question about Turnitin. Okay.
I have a question. It's
sure.
not related to Turnitin, but I just received, I believe everyone probably received a couple of email notifications about the changes that you've been doing. So if I'm an instructor and I want to do all these trial and errors and changes, I don't want to send any notifications to students at this time. How do I turn it off?
Make sure the course is unavailable. So if you make it unavailable, the notifications don't go out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's the only thing. And
yeah,
my suggestion is make all these changes at the beginning of the semester without involving the student. When you make it available, it starts sending out. But if you want to stop it, just make it unavailable. Now the only problem is the moment you make unavailable available, because the emails are not sent instantly, it takes like 5 to 10 minutes. So sometimes even if you make the course unavailable, if you have taken any action a minute ago, it might not immediately, it might have sort of sent the email in the queue, so they will still get it. So
I see.
Keep like 10-15 minutes of buffer between making the course available, unavailable. So
okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
There's a question also regarding this. Can I?
Yes, please.
Once you make this unavailable and you upload a lot of items and files, so once you will make it again available, so will it send the notifications for each item uploaded, or the students then themselves have to see that what has been done?
From my experience, it does send a notification, but the last one, something like if you make multiple changes, only the last one will be sent, something like this.
So means if I have uploaded like week 1 folder and week 2 folders and week 3 folders, so maybe they'll not know that these items have been recently uploaded. So they have to see by themselves.
No, they will get for week 1, week 2. But if you are added like a week 1 file, but you made small changes like change the date or something, that will not be sent. But any new item, once the course becomes available, they will get it.
Okay. Thank you.
So, okay. I have two more questions over here. Can I copy a folder in course content from one section to another? Yes, you can copy if you have something like this, DP upload. Because if you see DP upload, it has multiple files, week 1, week 2. All you have to do is drop down and copy it to some other course. So instead of this course, I do it to some other course, for example, personal course shell. Select the target where you want to publish it in which area, and then click submit. So it will create a copy. Yes, it can be done. But you have to be an instructor or a teaching assistant in both the courses. You cannot copy to other people's courses or somewhere you don't have privileges, if that's clear enough. Okay, that was for Brother Zahid Ahmed. Next, Muhammad Nadeem Sharif, how to link or export grades from Blackboard to Darajati system. Unfortunately, Darajati system, first of all, I'm not the admin, I'm not aware how the system behaves, but what Blackboard does is Blackboard exports, if you look at Blackboard Grade Center over here, it exports all the grades, all the columns as CSV files. So you can just see this last name, first name, username, access, availability, homework. You can say download. It will download the full Grade Center as a CSV file. So if I download this and open this, I'll show you what I mean. It tries to open. So you have this CSV file. So once you have this CSV file, I think you can upload it to the Darajati system by making minor changes upon as per your requirement. So I think that should work.
Yes. So, brother, I know it, but the only thing is that how to link with Darajati. So, because
no, unfortunately, I don't think it's linked or can be linked, at least in my opinion, because it requires linking with other grade systems. There is something called grades journey in Blackboard, but we don't have license for it, and it was not approved because at one point the registrar system, the banner system, wanted to have, or the recommendation was Blackboard should publish the grades to banner system, but it was not allowed as per the policy of the registrar. So that's why we didn't have it. Otherwise, it would have been possible. But right now, no, it's not possible, unfortunately. You have to do it in 2 steps. Download or upload locally to CSV and upload or download to the system. So unfortunately, this is a limitation.
no problem. Thanks.
I have another question. Yeah, Blackboard requires time-consuming activity. Yeah, that's what we are targeting. I know it's time-consuming, especially if you are, teaching on this system for the first time. I mean, you might have used other system, or if you are coming back after some time. But yes, so 1 week in, hopefully, yeah, as I mentioned, by the end of this week, you should have the courses available, so you can upload content and prepare your course. You should have 1 full week, including the weekends. So I hope that should be okay. But because we have also limitations in terms of the summer semester just ended on 14th, day before yesterday, officially. So we have to wait until all those grades are cleared and then we upload. Otherwise, faculty members get confused in terms of the courses appearing, and so it's just a matter of time. So I hope you can understand. Hopefully, it should be available by Thursday. Okay, so I think we are coming to close to the end of the workshop, and I still have certain topics. So let me go over the quick tools over here as I had initially planned. So this is how to upload content. This is how to upload assignment or Turnitin assignment. Of course, there are other tools like Wiki's journals, which I'm not going to talk about right now. Maybe I'll talk about in the advanced workshop next week. And of course, you can play along with this content, how to upload multiple content or syllabus, or make changes to this one assignment or rename or color and so on. I showed you some essential ones. Let me talk about announcements. If you come over announcement. Okay, somebody asked me, please remind me how to stop receiving notifications that students submitted. Okay, Victor, I think as I mentioned, you have to go to web courses, notifications dashboard, and inside notification, click on edit notification, select the course that you are interested in, and uncheck because you don't want to receive assignment submit notifications. So assignment needs grading. Just uncheck this one in the email and you should be fine, and submit. I hope that clarifies. Or if you don't want, just uncheck all the emails. You will not get any emails unless you want to make any specific item available. So I've seen multiple instructors who are having a lot of students in different courses. they get flooded with emails. So you might want to disable the emails and just keep on the dashboard. Again, it's your choice. Okay, now coming back to the course again, and if I talk about announcements, announcements is the place where you publish announcements. Now, when you create an announcement, as I mentioned, you can disable the notification, and students also disable the notification. But sometimes you would like to send an urgent announcement, something like urgent class location changed. Something like this happens occasionally. You might want to, update the students and so on. Please note or something, If you want to do this, you might want to send an email announcement immediately. So students are still notified even if this option is not selected. But if you force this, this is like the force. This is the only place, even if they have disabled all the notifications, they will still get an email announcement. And you can add a course link if you want to. For example, if there is anything in week 1 or week 2 or something, if you'd like to add a course link, for example. But this will force the announcement and you will get it immediately. So I want to send it right now. You will get it even if you have disabled it. But I don't. Shall I send it, or let me send it? I think just for the sake of demonstration. So just give it a couple of seconds. It says success announcements created. Email was sent successfully to all the course users. So you will get this class location change or something and something. So you will get a notification immediately. That shows that, okay, you have received it, mashallah, very fast. So that shows that you are, informing. Even I'm getting it, I think, in the background. That shows that students are immediately getting notifications, even if they have disabled the notification email. And this is only one place where you can do it, and one at a time. I mean, you cannot upload bulk notifications. You have to do one by one. So I think this is very much clear. The next difference that I wanted to show was a difference between email and course messages. Normally, when you send an email, if you look over announcements, you have course messages and you have send email. Now, as an instructor, you can send email to different users. It will go directly to their Outlook mailbox. It will not stay in Blackboard. It will just generate an email note. The email directly will go into the Blackboard. In the Outlook, nothing will stay in Blackboard. So if you come back to Blackboard and see what email did I send, you will not be able to see it because this is only sending email. Now, the difference is sending email versus course messages. Course messages is like you send an email, you create a message. So the terminology is different. They don't say course email, they say course messages. In course messages, you create a message. So you create a welcome message. For example, I can send it to all the recipients, select all, submit, and say welcome to the course, for example. And I can send it to all, but this stays only within Blackboard. And I can click submit. Now, once I submit, this is inbox and sent. There is one email. So if I click on inbox, I can see that this email was sent from me. It only comes within the Blackboard. You have to log into Blackboard, click on course messages, and see that there is a course message for you. But you will get a notification in your email saying that there is a new course message. So some instructors prefer to keep all their communication within the course. Some instructors prefer to keep all their notifications outside the course. So this is one way to control the email versus course messages. So again, it depends on your choice. Would you like to use emails or course messages or both? You can use both or none. You can use something else, for example. Okay, let's come to the next tool, which is online attendance, because someone asked me before. I wanted to come to this earlier, but let's see. Okay, so if you come to this course, there are so many other tools, but I'm going to talk about, if you expand the course tools, you will see so many tools. And one of them is online attendance. If you click over here, you will see online attendance. Now, Blackboard has a built-in tool called attendance, and this online attendance is an additional tool. So there are two tools. So if you look at course tools, you will see attendance here. This is one tool that is built in by Blackboard. It is a little bit more fancy because the colors are a little better, because this is part of integrated with Blackboard Ultra, because attendance was not built in by default. This is like an additional. So I'm just going to use the default settings. I will see something a little bit more fancy. So I'll see the list of all the users. It shows only the first name and last name. It shows today's date, present, late, absent. So I can say today, present, somebody is late, somebody is absent. Please don't take it personally. I'm just showing it for the sake of demonstration. And it shows me all the users in this course. If somebody has uploaded a photo like Dr. Motaz and some avatar, so you should be able to see it. Otherwise, you don't get to see the student ID. Now, the problem happens if the students have the same first name and last name, then we have a problem like Muhammad Abdullah. So it's very difficult to identify. There are some limitations. The other tool is the online attendance. As I mentioned, if I click on online attendance, again, the first time you have to set it up, like which dates are there and so on. So you will see again, you can see the date setup. You have to do a little bit setup in the beginning, which date the courses start, which class meets on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, or some other day, and save the settings. So I'll say Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, for example. Course begin on 28th of August, for example, and finishes on 1/1, let's say 2023. Save the settings. So it's basically gives me all the days of attendance from this date to, it shows the current date plus next date. Every time you log in, you can create an attendance and so on. So I have to do class dates must be set up. Just give me a second. Date setup. Oh, today is 16, so that's why it was not showing. Let me get it from 10th August. Okay, now I'm getting the dates: 10th August, 14th August, 11th, 11th, 14th, and 16th. So again, it shows up as I move along. So you can put present, absent, late, excused, or unexcused. So there are some instructions here. If you click on the instructions, you will see what each of these seating chart and what each of these legends mean. So I encourage you to just try that out. And as I mentioned, excuse me, as I mentioned, this is less fancy. It just shows the first name, last name, and these 5 legends: PALEU, present, absent, late, excused, unexcused, for different dates. So you can make changes over here, whoever is late or something, and then click save attendance. And you can, for this date has been changed and so on. It takes a couple of seconds and you can export this attendance and it will upload, it will make an XLS file. Unfortunately, you cannot import it back. It's only like one way it exports. So you will have a list of students. The only thing, as I told you, that is missing in both the sections is the student ID is missing. So you will have a problem if the student first name and last name is similar. And if it is multi-section, you will not know which section is that from, that student is from. So if somebody is interested in using the online attendance, either the online attendance by a third-party tool or attendance tool directly within Blackboard, it is better to keep individual sections as it is, as compared to merging the sections. Maybe request a separate common section for common activities, but try to keep each section individually as it is, so that you know what's going on in the section. Because the moment you have 3 or 4, 2 or 3 sections merged or more, it really becomes difficult to track student from a different section, because this list sorts students in last name alphabetical order. So it really becomes difficult to manage such situations. So again, this is a limitation, unfortunately, and we don't have a very, very strong tool for attendance in Blackboard. I have to admit that. I hope that answers the question for the attendance.
Sir, how it will appear to the student?
Excellent question. How it will appear to the student. Right now, if you would like to add attendance or online attendance, if you go to student preview, you will not see anything over here. What you have to do additionally is you have to click on this plus sign, add a tool link, Okay, select online attendance, scroll down to online attendance, type in the word online attendance, available to users, and click submit. Now, once I have this online attendance, as an instructor, I see all the students. Just give it a couple of seconds. This is taking a little bit more time than anticipated. Okay, so let's say for Dr. Osama Mohsin, I think you were present. So for me, I can see present, but if I go to Dr. Osama's account, I mean, I'm looking from your account. So if I click on online attendance, I will see my own attendance only. For 16th of August, it was present. And so on, the list will grow. So this is how the students see it. So if you want to see it, how the students see it from a student perspective, you have to first create, I mean, from a student preview, because and click on online attendance, this user has nothing. So I'll go to the settings. I will not delete the user. I will save it. I will exit the preview. And I will go to online attendance again. Now I will see the additional user, which is Blackboard admin preview user. If you remember, if you don't delete the user, you will see one additional user. Yes, so there is preview user. I will give absent, for example, and save attendance. So absent on 16th. And let me just make one more change here just for the sake of demonstration. And for 11th, let's say this is present, for example. So I have done that. So if I go to student preview, now this user is there. Now I click on online attendance. So 16th is present, one was absent. So should be one. Just give me a second. Maybe it was not saved. I clicked. Just give me a second. Oh, I cannot change the previous dates because this is 16. It's like you are changing in the past. You have to change it in the future. I mean, you have to change it in the present. You cannot change it in the past. Let's see why. Somebody will send on 11. See if I should be able to see it. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Let's absent. Okay. Let me go to student preview. Yeah, now it's okay. You can change it. You can change it, of course. Maybe I just clicked fast, so that's why it did not save. Yes, thank you. I think I forgot to click save attendance. So this is how the student will see it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Can you please just show this step again? How did you create that online attendance tab on this left scroll down menu?
Yes, sure, of course. So in order to create an online attendance link, all I have to do is click on the plus sign and click on the tool link. And one of the tool is online attendance. You have to scroll down to online attendance. Type in the name. You can use the same name, online attendance, and make it available to users and click submit. That's all. So I did it twice, so there are two links right now. There can be two links because both are pointing to the same thing. So I will just delete one of them. So this is essentially about online attendance. I know it has its own limitation, but unfortunately, we don't have a fully flexible system for online attendance, especially if you are having multi-section. So the recommendation is, please try to use individual sections as much as possible. If you'd like to have a common section, please request for a separate common section so that it doesn't interfere with this one. Alternatively, if it's fine for you, like there are less students in each section and you would like to merge, and you are not planning to use online attendance explicitly over here, maybe you have other tool or other system to take it, of course, feel free to have your choice. So that's about online attendance. Couple of A couple of more points that I would like to quickly show. If you have any questions, of course, please type in the chat, but I would like to show you two important things. If you have taught a course from the previous semester, you can copy the course from the previous semester to this semester. So all the contents and activities, I mean, definitely not the students, because you shouldn't copy the students. The students should be are automatically enrolled for the current semester by the registrar system. So if to do that, you have to go to packages and utilities and click on course copy. Now, once you click on course copy, as an instructor, you should be able to click on course material into an existing course, because as an administrator, I can create a new course, but for you as an instructor, you will not be able to create a new course. So you have to by default, it selects copy course material into existing course. The way course copy works is that it copies the course from the current course, which is the source, to the destination. So if I want to copy it from the previous semester into this course, for example, what I will do here is I will go to some previous course, for example, in term 192, for example, and this course was in Arabic for some reason. Now let me just take a regular English one. Okay, there was some links here and some files here from that webinar about assessments and ultra and so on. If I want to copy these course contents into my current course, so I'll go into this course, I'll go to customization, I'll go to packages and utilities, course copy into an existing course, and I will target the destination course to be the current course, which is, I think the course ID starts with 221. If I search for it. So yeah, this is the course ID 221 and click submit. So all the course content over here, which contains, let me show you what this course contains basically. If I click on course contents, it contains a link and some files, and there is one assessment, and there is link for Blackboard Collaborator, which is already there in that one. And there are some announcements, which is empty, so I don't care. So I'm just trying to copy everything over here into our current course, which is 221. So over here, so it will copy everything as much as possible in a similar template and format. So I will go to 192 DAD webinar, go to packages and utilities, copy course into an existing course. I'll browse for the course. I'm searching for it because it's a long list. Search for this course. I'm going to select all, just select everything. I can copy, I can include the enrollment also, but I don't want to do this because user records are copied. User will also be copied, but this does not copy the user record like the grades or anything. So I'm just not going to touch this. I'm going to click on submit. The moment I do this, it says copy course action queued, an email will be sent when the process is complete. Usually it takes a couple of seconds depending on the course size. The course size in my case here is relatively very less. It's just maybe 4 megabytes or something. Okay, when I go to this destination course, which is my course, it says over here, source this copy has been complete. So now I can close this one. If you look, all these links were not disturbed. These current links are fine, but it added these links like these were hidden links, I think. So it sort of tried to adjust whatever was available. So it placed. Now I can move it over here somewhere within the course or reorganize them. So this is one way to copy the course from the previous semester to this semester. Of course, there are a lot of other things. I would like to show you one more interesting or necessary action, which is at the end of the semester, you might want to keep a copy of your course so you can export or archive the course. So if you go to packages and utilities, you're most welcome, sir. If you go to export and if you go to packages and utilities on the control panel, you will see export archive. So there is a small difference between export and archive. Export essentially compiles the package of course contents, while archive includes a permanent record of course, including content, user interaction, grades, and everything so on. So export or archive can be done for the course. If you export the package, this will only copy the content. So this whole course will be copied as a zip file, and you will be able to download and keep a copy for yourself. Similarly, Archive also does the same thing, but archive is a little bigger in size because it stores the student information as well as the student interaction and grades and everything. So as a best practice, especially after, let's say, a midterm, you might want to download an archive copy for some reason, in case if you want to be careful, or you are maybe upgrading your system for whatever reason. So it's good practice either at the midterm or end of the semester to keep a copy of your courses that you can reuse next time. If you want to import that package back, all you have to do is under packages and utilities, you have import package view log. So you have to go to import package and upload a file, and it will upload the package that you downloaded from the previous course as an archive or an export. The only condition that I'm trying to mention here is export is usually recommended because it contains only the content, and you might want to design the activities, or because you'll have different set of students. Only if you want to keep a record of the students, you can download the archive, but you will have to restore it into some empty course, because if you do it over here, it will overwrite certain things. So you don't want to do that, because it will overwrite the current status to that saved archive. To know more about it, click on more help over here, and it talks about guidelines for importing and exporting. So same thing in packages and utilities. You have more information here, or if you go to help.blackboard.com, you will see more information with some examples. So due to time limitation, I will not be able to talk about it more at this point. So I think we are almost close to the time. It's almost 3:27. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to ask me, or if you would like to later on create an e-desk or send me an email either on sanaullah@kfupm or webdad@kfupm. Just send me an email, but I'll try to reply as soon as possible, but sometimes I have some activities that I have to complete, so I might get delayed a little bit, so please excuse me for that. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'll just wait here for another minute or two. Otherwise, thank you all for attending. If you are available next week to attend the advanced tools, so it gives a little bit more insight to specific tools, so we'll talk about those next week. So thank you again, and please feel free to ask questions if somebody has any question. Yes, Dr. Tahir, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Snaula, for giving us a nice presentation or the module or demo. So we have a fire alarm here. So we left in between about the online attendance. I just want to know, can we able to assign the number against the student names in online attendance?
No, unfortunately, that's the problem. I told you we have a lot of limitations, including making changes to the setup that it has. The closest thing that you can do is using the seat arrangement. So if you click on online attendance, there is an option to attendance by seat. So you can make a grid, like you can make a seating chart arrangement. Let's see how it's done. I think I have to do something. Seating setup. Yeah, sorry. So like if I have 90 students over here. So 10 by 10, for example. So that's the best you can think of. You can, assign somebody here, but unfortunately, numbering is not an option. The only other option is you can keep downloading the Excel file every week, or and then sort of work your way through. But unfortunately, it's limited.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Yes, sir. Any other question? Okay, I think that's all the time we have. It's almost 3:30 now, and I know it's end of the day. You might have other activities, so I'm going to close the session now. And thank you all for attending. And if you have any questions, as I mentioned, please create an e-desk, or please feel free to attend the next advanced Blackboard workshop next week. The best way to mark attendance in class, I might not be able to answer that because I don't teach to actual students. I'm more like an administrator and trainer. So maybe some experienced faculty member will be able, from your department, might be able to sort of guide you in that. So please. Marking the attendance is, as I mentioned, you just have to, by default, it's all present. You just have to select absent or late and then excused or something, and then click save attendance. But it has to be alphabetical order last name, sorted by alphabetical order last name. Online quiz features, I think we didn't cover quizzes at this time. Maybe in the advanced, I will try to cover quizzes and some of the features that I mentioned about item analysis. I'll try to cover in the advanced one. Due to time limitation, I don't think I was able to cover it. Sorry about that. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
So regarding this course copy, I'm trying to do it.
Yes.
When I select destination, it's
Yes.
asking course content area, course content, course syllabus, assignment. I need to select all, or?
Yes, by default, if you want to copy everything, select all. But for some reason, if you don't want to copy, for example, announcements, just uncheck that one. So it will not copy the announcements.
Okay. Whatever I need, I can select
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
And then click submit.
Exactly, that's correct.
So all these informations will be transferred there.
Exactly, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's all the time we have. I'm going to stop the recording now and